Yo, good afternoon, freedom marchers, freedom family, freedom lovers, freedom fighters, Snapzilla gorillas in the building. Hitting y'all with this quick live stream. It's a little late, but shit be happening. You know, shit be going on. Work be working. Gotta work to work. Anyway, man. What an interesting week this has been. A lot of things have happened over the past week. A lot of things. Yeah, Charlie Kirk get murked. You had Bud whoop on Canelo. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of things that happened this week. A lot of shit going on. A lot of it probably a distraction for something else going on. Because this is what they do in Operation Mockingbird. Operation Mockingbird is in full effect. But we're going to talk about some of the specifics surrounding, Terrence Bud Crawford and the atmosphere of boxing and how it kind of relates to real world events. How it relates to the real world in general. There are a lot of parallels between boxing and in the real world, right? But we know boxing is in the real world. There are real world people in boxing that have influence outside of boxing. If you guys believe that or not, it is what it is. Kelvin Black, salute to you. Canelo wasn't focused. Ice. Boy, Kelvin Black, you funny. ICE agents had him stuttering, huh? He was worried about them ICE agents. That's funny. Listen, man. Terrence Bud Crawford, against all odds, beat Canelo Alvarez with the cards stacked against him, with everybody betting against him. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. When I first found out about this fight happening, I did not pick Bud right away. I had concerns. Early on, just because of everything surrounding Canelo and how he's protected, how he's coddled, how people, he is a figure in the sport of boxing that's kind of been uplifted to a degree and protected. You know what I'm saying? So there were certain issues around that fight that I was concerned about. But as we got closer to the fight, I had Bud winning. If he fought the way I felt he should fight. And for the most part, that's what he did. John Parham, salute to you. Good morning. Good afternoon. Bud pretty much fought the way I thought he should fight to win the fight. There were moments where he stood in the pocket with Canelo and banged it out with him and got out of there in the right moment, in the right time. Yes, Lawrence Will, salute to you. Good morning, brother, or good afternoon. Man, Bud, he made a hell of a statement. They wanted to paint Bud as the villain. At least that's what that sucker ass Max Kellerman tried to do. Max Kellerman was appealing to the crowd that was there mostly for Canelo. And Bud said, you know what? Well, I don't know if this was Bud was thinking, right? I don't know what was in Bud's mind. But he said, I'm gonna whoop your ass in front of all these motherfuckers. That's what Bud said, and that's what he set out to do. That's what he did. He did that shit. Congratulations, Terrence Bud Crawford. He made a statement as the American villain. But see, this is not a new story. There is nothing new under the sun. Braden Golsom, salute to you. Salute to John I said salute to you. Shifted car says crash. Sure, why not? Just for you. Anyway. Bud this is a new picture. This is nothing new. They have done this to iconic black figures throughout history. They have done this. They've done it. They were alive. They've done it post their death, right? Like they've tried to do with Malcolm X, and you know what they did to Malcolm X? They tried to say that he was a homosexual, right? Some of his own people tried to paint that picture. You know what I'm saying? Because good and goddamn, man. Good goddamn. Good goddamn. They don't want me to get this message out today, huh? Okay. Wow. Man, this makes zero sense whatsoever, y'all. They really fucking with my live stream today. They really fucking with my live stream. Wow. Anyway, so they have painted Terrence Bud Crawford as a villain. So if Terrence Bud Crawford is the villain, then who's the hero? Canelo Alvarez? Is that what we're to believe? When did Terrence Crawford ever act like a villain in his entire career? When did that ever happen? When was Terrence Bud Crawford the villain? You know what I'm saying? They did the same thing to Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather embraced the role. He embraced that. But Terrence Bud Crawford never did. Terrence Bud Crawford never acted like he was a villain. Fernando Lopez, salute to you. Terrence Bud Crawford has never done that. So why are we asking him if he embraced the villain role? Well, I'll tell you what, that American villain made a statement. And that statement was, I whooped your hero's ass. That's what the statement was. It was a message, right? It was a message to Americans, whether Terrence knows it was a message or not. It's a message that says, you can paint us as the villain all you want, right? The right person will come out on top. The right individual will overcome. Terrence Bud Crawford was not the villain, right? What did he have stacked against him? He had Turkey stacked against him. He had the judges stacked against him. He had the whole entire crowd stacked against him. He had Canelo Alvarez, his opponent, as a major element that they used against Terrence Bud Crawford. The messaging was clear. You, the black man of this event, going up against the redhead, pale-skinned, freckled Mexican, are the villain. You're the bad guy. And that's how we're going to present you in this fight. This was a symbolic fight, y'all. It was symbolic. Right? Usually, when you talk about heroes and villains, who has more of the odds stacked against them? Who has to fight through the most adversity? Who gets everything easy when it comes to the hero and the villain? Who are the heroes usually? What do the heroes usually have? The billionaires and the trillionaires backing them? Are the heroes the one with all the money? Terrence Bud Crawford got a guaranteed $10 million. Canelo got $100 million guaranteed. Well, how is it that the villain is getting the less money? He's going through the most adversity. The odds are against him. And all he's trying to do is fight somebody. Right? Trying to achieve greatness, trying to challenge himself. How is Bud the villain when Canelo is the proven drug cheat? Canelo was the drug cheat. Canelo has been catered to his entire career. He popped dirty for clenbuterol. And guess what? They said, you know what? We're going to allow a certain amount of clenbuterol in a fighter system because of Canelo Alvarez. What can happen if one fighter is using PEDs and another fighter is not? They get the edge, right? They get the that other fighter at risk. Bud has never popped dirty for PEDs. Bud has never been backed by the machine. When we rage against the machine, is the machine backing heroes when we rage against the machine? Or who are they backing? The machine backs the villain, usually, right? It's always the story where the hero has to overcome tremendous odds to come out on top. The villain has all the advantages. Canelo had all the advantages. Canelo was the proven drug cheat. Canelo had the machine backing him. Turki Al-Sheikh, I believe, wanted Bud to win. Or not Bud, but Canelo. Right? If you look at everything leading up to this fight, if you look at how Turki is behaving, it appears that Canelo is his man, in my opinion. Of course, this is my opinion. I can't speak to Turki Al-Sheikh's intent. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it appears to be. And if you look at Turki after Bud whooped on Canelo and beat him, did you see the look on Turki Al-Sheikh's face? He did not look happy. Am I saying that Turki is bad or bad for boxing? I'm not going to say that right now, but I am saying that bringing Dana White and somebody from the WWE into the sport of boxing to try to reshape boxing itself, trying to reshape boxing in some other image, is not good. It's not good for boxing. It's not good for the sport. Dana White with his TKO series, I don't see why Turki Al-Sheikh believes that's necessary. Because it's not necessary. 76,000 people, or over 70,000 people filled that stadium. Over 70,000. Is it because Dana White was out there promoting? I didn't see Dana White doing shit but standing between Bud and Canelo. What the fuck did Dana White do? What did Dana White do? No, the fight itself became highly anticipated. Why? Because the hero had to face insurmountable odds. And everybody knows who the hero really was. Salute to y'all. I don't know why y'all worried about my driving. Don't worry about all that. Why y'all worried about that? Crawford is the best in this era, absolutely. The fight looks sold out. They sold a lot of fucking tickets. Queen Mother Shaquila, salute to you. Good afternoon to you. Yes, Lawrence Will says, I do stand with Canelo when he said, boxing is already big and already great. Canelo was absolutely right. And see, Canelo's not getting enough credit here. Is Canelo even the villain? We have to ask ourselves that question. Because when Canelo could have been a spokesperson for the new direction of boxing towards the Dana White bullshit, what did he say? He said, we don't need Turkey to make boxing great. Boxing is already great. But the only problem, the reason that Turkey was able to step in the first place, because fighters weren't challenging themselves. Fighters weren't stepping up to the plate to face real competition. Certain fighters, certain big fighters that everybody was gravitating toward, including Canelo Alvarez, wouldn't fight David Benavidez. So we have to look at who the real villains are. The villains are always the elite class that feel like they have to exercise some sort of power over everybody down here. Everybody down there at the bottom. All the casuals, all the diehards. They don't care about what you want to see. It's the same thing in real life, in politics, with voters. They don't give a hot fuck about what you want. What they're going to try to do is shape what you want around what they want to give you to maintain their power. That's what this is all about. This is about exercising power. The sport of boxing is almost just like real world politics. It's really the only sport that operates like that. The NFL is an organization, a nonprofit, so to speak. The NFL is an organization where, there's some corruption in the NFL, but, they make all these teams go against each other. It doesn't matter. You can't duck a football team, right? Everybody has to fight every football team has to fight every other fucking football team. They set the fucking schedule. It is what it is. But even in football, there is a limit to what an individual football player can earn because they got salary caps. But look at baseball. They put these limitations there because they don't want these people to get too greedy. But it's okay for the fat cats in the owner's seats to earn as much as they want, right? You see, even in football, it's like that. But not to the degree of boxing. Yes, Will Lawrence says they were trying to get Canelo to throw Bud under the bus all pre and post fight. I respect him for giving Bud his props. Absolutely. You can't do nothing but respect Canelo for that. They tried to tell him that he really won, and he was like, nah, man, I didn't win that shit. Bud won. And that's the bottom line to it. We're talking about boxing and politics. Boxing used to be number one watch sport. Now it's not. Why is that? Well, because people have, the people that really supported boxing throughout the years, through the generations, they don't really enjoy the boxing the way they used to, because the fighters, you don't have the same caliber of fighters that you used to make diehard boxing supporters excited. Well, now it's about catering to casuals, right? Well, casuals aren't really buying fights like that. Casuals aren't really paying for fights like that. They go into YouTube spaces to watch content creators have drama. And then they cling to the fighter their favorite content creator clings to. Whereas before all this social media stuff, before social media got involved in boxing, it was just about those who gave a fuck about boxing, just watch boxing. And these fighters understood, well, if I'm going to make money and if I want to excel in my career, I got to take the challenge in fights. I have to fight. Every time I fight, it has to be better and better and better. If I'm good enough. If I'm not good enough, then I'm not going to make any money. You get what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Yes, you were dead, Mike. You were way off. But now it's about catering to casuals outside of the ring. We're not trying to bring casuals and get them interested in the sport by saying, you know what, this guy should fight that guy. Tank should fight this guy. We're not pushing these fighters to fight anybody. We're not pushing them. Not enough of us. Instead, what are we doing? We're making excuses for these fighters. We're licking their balls instead of giving them a push and say, look, man, I can't support this bullshit you're doing right now. Why are you fighting this guy and fighting that guy? You should be unifying. You should be fighting your goddamn mandatories. Well, what they do when they look out and they see people clued into the sport, they're seeing, well, no one gives a fuck. They don't care. We can put on whatever fight we want. You know? But in reality, again, appealing to casuals does not translate to views and ticket sales. But look what happened with Canelo and Bud Crawford. That was a fight where everybody doubted that Terrence Crawford could even last 2 or 3 rounds in the ring with Canelo. But Terrence Crawford is touted as #1 pound for pound. So you take the #1 pound for pound fighter, moving up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo Alvarez, the undisputed champion at light middleweight. What you're seeing is an all-time great like Canelo Alvarez being faced by another all-time great, ostensibly the smaller guy with 2 undisputed titles, moving up to try to get a 3rd undisputed title. Do you see everything surrounding that? Salute to Queen Sugar Free Mars in the building. My lovely counterpart. Ooh-wee. Yes, she is in the building. Yes, Lawrence Will says, I really think the reason boxing isn't pushed hard in America is because imagery showing black modern men who are the best in the U.S. are being intelligent weapons of power. Yes, that could be the case. But here is the problem. No, this is not the problem, actually. What Bud just did is he showed how you really excel at the sport, right? You can go back into his past. You can say he ducked Errol and Errol ducked him and Boots and all that. You can go through all that. You can go through the whole thing. Oh, he didn't fight Kell Brook until Kell Brook was broken. And okay, you want to say that? We can say that. But look at what he did. He got 2 undisputed titles in 2 different weight classes. Went up to 154, fought Madrimov. Did not look good against Madrimov. So now there's doubt about Terrence Bud Crawford. Some people say, including myself, that Bud might have even lost to Madrimov. But you take that. Okay, you think Bud, oh man. You might have think, oh, well, he's down here now, you know. But he's going up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo Alvarez after a what? A 14-month layoff? A 14-month layoff. You're going to move up to fight Canelo Alvarez, who he himself took a tune-up against William School. And you think Bud lost his fucking mind. But he's doing that shit. And that is where the appeal comes from. 70,000 seats? Where you see that at? Possibly the 3rd largest gate in Las Vegas history? In Las Vegas for boxing. The World Elijah says, in Bud versus Madrimov was a masterclass. He was given 2 4 shots. Sure. However you want to... Damn it. Hold on, let me... Yeah, if you want to say that he put on a masterclass performance, this is not even about that. This is not about Bud's performance in general, right? Because we're all gonna have assholes when it comes to that. We all got an asshole, right? You know what I mean when I say we all have an asshole? Everybody got one. What I'm talking about are the facts. The fact is, Bud moved up 2 weight classes with 2 undisputed titles under his belt to face the king at 168 and the face of boxing, right? That is what the appeal came from. Against all odds. Bud went in there. He said, I'm going to do this thing. He even doubted that he could even compete. Remember that? The man said, it is an excellent accomplishment. Absolutely. I would say the best accomplishment ever in history, in boxing history, if you're looking at the accolades itself. I'm not saying Bud is the GOAT. What I'm saying is, what he accomplished, you can't, what else can you hold up to it? The bottom line is, Bud moved up 2 weight classes. After a poor performance, in my opinion, it wasn't even a poor performance. Let me take that back. It was not a poor performance. It just wasn't a great performance against Madrimov, who I think did very good against Bud. Now, he goes up. Okay. He has all the doubters. People want to see what he's going to do with that challenge. And what's the key word? Challenge. Bud challenged himself. But they want to tell you he's the fucking villain when the villain, if you look at all the stories, all the hero stories and all whatever the fuck you want to watch, Marvel, DC, who has all the disadvantages? Who has all the odds stacked against them? Even Superman and Batman. Yeah, Batman is a billionaire with all this technology. Superman has all these godlike powers. But they do face insurmountable odds, don't they? How is it that the villain has everything stacked against him? The machine had, Canelo had the machine. I'm not saying Canelo's the villain either. The machine is the villain. The entity that is painting a picture that the black man who didn't do anything to make himself out to be a villain. He never embraced the villain role. The machine backed the other guy. The guy that ends up being the anti-hero, that's not really the villain, like a Canelo. Well, I'm not really a villain, but I'm not really a hero either. I'm an anti-villain or anti-hero. Okay. The villain is who? The villain is the machine. Think about it in the Matrix. Now, I want y'all to really think about this. In the Matrix, you had the one. You had the one, you had Agent Smith, and you had the machines. Look at it like that. Bud was Neo. Bud was Neo. Canelo was Agent Smith. But the true power behind Agent Smith that even Agent Smith rebelled against, if you watch The Matrix, you'll see that Agent Smith said, fuck this goddamn Matrix. Agent Smith rebelled against the machines. Right? Now, the parallel ends when Neo got absorbed by the machine and fought against, But see, that's when people flip it. There are theories out there that Agent Smith was actually the one. Agent Smith was actually the one because he became self-aware and wanted to break free from the machine. He wanted to be free. Whereas Neo, he made a pact with the machines to get rid of Neo, or to get rid of Agent Smith, because Agent Smith was corrupting the Matrix. You see how they flipped that on you? Neo went into the machine, used the machine's power to beat Agent Smith, who was corrupting the Matrix. What were they doing in all three films? The people of Zion, the people that had freed themselves from the Matrix, what were they trying to do the entire fucking time? I'm not your dad, Cannon, and if you can't keep up, that's on you. If you can't keep up with what I'm saying, more power to you. Yes, your buddy, appealing to casuals does not translate to views and ticket sales. No, it does not. You might get some every now and then. You might get something like you had with a Ryan Garcia in a tank, but it's not going to be sustainable. Think about it. Neo and everybody of Zion and everybody in Lawrence Fishburne's character, I forgot his name, Morpheus, they were trying to destroy the Matrix. They were trying to get rid of the machines. Agent Smith was trying to do the same thing because he felt trapped. He felt like a slave to the Matrix. Agent Smith was actually the one. Agent Smith was the one who was trying to corrupt the entire Matrix and just destroy it. It would have destroyed the machines. It would have gotten rid of the cycles. I often talk about cycles in politics. I always talk about cycles. You cycle in and out of the left and the right and the right and the left. It goes through cycles. Well, that's what happened in the Matrix. The machines use Neo to get rid of Smith so that the machines can continue using the humans as batteries to sustain themselves. At the end of the day, they were fighting all three films to destroy the Matrix and free everybody from the machines. But Neo had to give himself over to the machines and get rid of Agent Smith, who was really the fucking one. Anyway, so the bottom line is they painted this picture. And this is just really Max Kellerman, right? As the villain, but really he was the hero of this story because he showed what a black man can do when so many odds are against him. All these people that backed Canelo, the machine that backed Canelo, the machine that funds Canelo, $400 million for 4 fights. That machine that wants to change the shape of boxing and make it more like the UFC, that wants to create this salary base for these fighters. What does that do? That takes away the independence of the individual fighter. Who does Bud fight for right now? Wait, is Neo, so Neo became the bad guy? Yeah. Because, just a little sidestep. You know why Neo was the bad guy now? Because what he allowed to happen. Magadis South. Salute to you, brother. What Neo allowed to happen was keep the Matrix alive. And keep everyone trapped within the Matrix. Because he thought that everyone was going to die if the machines were corrupted by Agent Smith. Agent Smith was going to turn everybody into Agent Smith. It was going to be all Agent Smiths running around, right? That was the concept. That was the reason. Y'all know how I say, I'll take dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery? Sugar Free Mars says, yep, and also the same machine that created and upholds the false supremacy of the Mex fan base and their collective bravery above everyone else. Yes. But see, that is the division that they are pushing onto us. It's a cold game. And Max Kellerman was trying to push that narrative. He did push that narrative because he understood what he saw when he was in that stadium, when he was talking to Bud. He was talking to Bud Oh, all these people are against you. You must be the villain. It's an appeal to majority. Just because the majority thinks something doesn't mean it's right. Facts. Division is it's a secret weapon, and they use it everywhere. Yes, the Matrix. At the end of the day, so I often say, peaceful slave. Don't tell me to move on. I'll move wherever the fuck I want to move to. This ain't scripted. This is off the top of the dome. I'll say what I want when I want. Anyway, so the Matrix had it was sounded like a symbiotic relationship. It was a forced symbiotic relationship. Well, if Agent Smith corrupted all these people, well, everyone would be consumed by Agent Smith, and the machines will be corrupted, and the people that are hooked up to the machine and live through the Matrix, they would be corrupted as well. Well, Neo could have done something else. Salute to Stephen X in the building. Neo could have done something else. He could have worked to free everyone from the machines before he even tried to face Agent Smith. Whatever the case may be. But, okay, do you want these people to continue to live as slaves within the Matrix? Or do you want to free them by death or by freeing them, disconnecting them from the machine? Anyway. So yes, Bud is not the villain. Bud is the hero. He has shown the example of what to strive for in the sport of boxing. 70,000 seats. Sure, he didn't take he didn't get more than 10 million guaranteed, right? He got 10 million. It's not a lot of money compared to what Canelo got. But he also has an opportunity to make up to 50 million reportedly. From the gate, and 70,000, he could clean up. But guess what? Now he has the leverage to write his own ticket in the future. But see, what also Bud has done is he has shown if you forget about trying to cater to the casual and try to excel at what you're good at, challenge yourself every single time, move up, face greater challenges, it can be rewarding. Fighting for legacy does not mean that you're not fighting for the prize. They are not mutually exclusive. You can be a prize fighter who fights for legacy. Those things can be a marriage. Fighting for legacy can bring you all the money that you could ever desire. How much money do you need without legacy? It doesn't make any sense, this talking point. Real talk, Real Kale B Hart, salute to you for dropping that super chat. I appreciate you. He says, I'm 23 and I can't grow a beard. How do you do it? I just grow beard. I don't know. I just have a beard. I don't know. Try castor oil. I heard that works pretty good. I don't know. Eat some, I don't know, boost your testosterone. Eat some beef and some eggs. Do squats. Boost your exercise, workout. Make sure your blood circulation is good. You know. Sugar Free Mars says they wanted Bud to be the villain so bad they salivate over the thought of BLK black men in that role. It makes it appetizing themselves, the thirst people have to see us fail. Exactly. That's exactly what it's about. And that's how they push what they want to push in boxing and outside of boxing. Who did they try to blame for Charlie Kirk's death? The HBCUs. How in the fuck do the HBCUs have anything to do with that? They have to do it. And who did Charlie Kirk paint as the villain throughout his hateful career? Oh, the black people is the most violent. They commit the most crime and they this, that. Man, get the fuck out of here with that. The bottom line is this. We can't be worried about it no more. They do want a race war. The people at the top, the elite class, they want that race war. J-Man salute. Y'all got me back? Yeah. They said my phone overheated. They always do this to me. Salute to Trey Tight. Henderson Williams, salute to you. No one knows what Bud really got. His contract and Canelo's contract were negotiated independently. Well, Bud himself said he got $10 million. That's what he said. Right? That's what Bud said. So, I mean, 9 Millico, salute. Can y'all hear me? Listen. Now, what else? What other? It's always these two fighters, isn't it? Terrence Bud Crawford and Devin Haney. Terrence Bud Crawford and Devin Haney. It's always those two. Thank you, Sugar Free Mars. I appreciate you. Does Canelo get $100 million regardless? Yeah, it's guaranteed. It's $100 million guaranteed. Yes. It's always Devin and it's always Bud. Now, here's a shocker, guys. Guess what happened over the weekend during fight week? Do I have empathy for Charlie Kirk? No. No. No, I don't have empathy for Charlie Kirk. Why should I? What? Charlie Kirk would be, he would roll over in his grave if I had empathy for him. No, I have. No, I got no goddamn. No, for what? Anyway, so listen. Ryan Garcia saw Devin Haney in Vegas and decided to go over to him and get a little dap. Devin looked up from his phone, gave Ryan Garcia a little dap, and went back to his phone. Now, Ryan Garcia tried to start a little chit-chat. Oh, you remember you taught me how to play Baccarat and all this other shit? And everybody took it and ran with it. And obviously they did a little face-off, right? It's still, I still believe that Devin wants to rematch Ryan Garcia so he can whoop his ass without PEDs. That's what I think. I think for his own personal reasons, Devin wants to fight Ryan Garcia and beat his ass. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. I don't think he should do it. But given that Devin suffered a defeat at the hands of a drug cheat, he wants to get that back. Oh, Sugar Free Marge, yeah, go ahead. You can, yeah. If they are, yes, you can. Yeah, go ahead. Why not? Yes, if they are. Now, if they're just disagreeing, you know, no problem with disagreements, no problem. But if they're on the rainbow shit and just talking irrelevant nonsense and spamming and all that shit, yeah, you can go ahead and get rid of them. So, okay, so Devin gave Ryan Garcia some dap, and he did a face-off. Now, here's the problem. Well, I'm not going to say everybody. Certain individuals decided to take that and run with it simply because their favorite fighter, Tonka Truck Davis, is a proven coon. So they want to throw Devin in there at any chance they get. Now, as far as the dap is concerned, Devin didn't give him a hug. He was like, "Oh man, what's up, dog? Oh man, you the shit, man. I love you, Ryan Garcia." No, he didn't do that. He looked up like, all right, man, whatever. Ryan Garcia, goofy ass, tried to, oh, Baccarat, remember that? Oh, my God. Trying to reminisce and shit. Reminisce on the love. No, there was no love, motherfucker. They did a face-off. Now, far be it for me to assume how the business of boxing goes, but maybe somebody wanted them to do that face-off. Maybe that's something that they wanted to happen to get some spark going about a rematch. But is Devin a coon and a sellout? Well, here's the thing. Guys like Knockoff Pity Pat got so up in arms about it and tried to draw parallels with Najee and said that Najee was simply doing his job and y'all called him a sellout. No, we didn't call Najee a sellout simply because he was interviewing Ryan Garcia. It was because he was licking his ass crack in his ball sack while he was doing it. He did not challenge Ryan Garcia in his racist behavior. He kind of, oh, why were you racist? Oh, okay, moving right along. And then try and accepted this nonsensical excuse about tri-order disorder, whatever the fuck you call it, bipolar, tricolor, whatever the fuck. Oh, he had bipolar disorder. I can't really get on him about that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, get the fuck out of here. It's not the same thing. To sell out, you have to sell something. You have to have made a profit from it. Shaking Ryan Garcia's hand did not earn Devin Haney any motherfucking money. Doing a face-off against Ryan Garcia did not earn him any money. So, therefore, selling out does not apply. If you want to call him a coon, how did Devin Haney coon for Ryan Garcia? Who did Devin go against? What brother or sister did Devin go against to support Ryan Garcia? In order to coon out, you have to go against your people for that racist piece of shit or whatever you want to say. That is when you coon out. Jesse urged what's his king question? They'll do anything to hate on the young king? Of course. So, yeah, you want to say that Devin cooned out. Who did Devin coon out for Ryan Garcia against? See, the people we call out for cooning, they go against their brother for that racist motherfucker. Last I checked. Now, when Tonka Truck did it, he embraced the drug cheat Ryan Garcia, right? He embraced him. He didn't shake his hand. He embraced the drug cheat Ryan Garcia, who used performance-enhancing drugs to fight against another black man. Okay. Ryan Garcia hadn't done any racist rants by then. Okay. But even after Ryan Garcia does his racist rant, and you're asked about it during your lead up to your fight against Frank Martin, what do? You defend Ryan Garcia. And you tell the people that you were excited when Devin got knocked down. And you were smiling at that point in time. You were still excited. You still decide to defend the racist drug cheat that went on numerous racist rants about people that look like you. That is what cooning looks like. Cooning is not facing off against a drug cheat cooning out is not doing a face-off and trying to rematch a drug cheat that tried to kill you, who you tried to sue, who you dropped the lawsuit for because he said it was going to rematch you, right? Cooning out is not shaking Ryan Garcia's hands. No, he's tolerating Ryan Garcia because they move around in the same circles. You really need to look at the individuals that allow Ryan Garcia to continue to come to these events and fight in the sport of boxing. If you want to go there, if you really want to go there, you have to ask the bigger questions. Why is Ryan Garcia still allowed to fight? Why is he still allowed to come to these events? Why is he still tolerated in the sport of boxing after being a known racist drug cheat? Well, perhaps because the system in which they operate is a racist system. At the end of the day, do you think Turkey really cares about Ryan Garcia being a racist drug cheat? If Turkey really cared, then Turkey would not be funding anything that Ryan Garcia is a part of. So we have to think about that as well. Turkey Al-Sheikh put on that event, and Turkey Al-Sheikh probably gave Ryan Garcia free tickets to the fight. So that's another thing we have to consider when we talk about this. We see, Tonka Truck decided on his own to defend a racist drug cheat. He decided on his own to embrace the drug cheat that he said he was going to smack if he found out if he was really a drug cheat. Instead, you gave him a big ass hug. Anyway, that is the reality that we're dealing with here. But of course, Devin shook Ryan's hand. Y'all gonna talk about that? Y'all gonna talk about that? Y'all gonna talk about Ryan Garcia being a drug cheat? I can't really throw in my Martin Luther King voice right now, but y'all get what I'm getting at. Oh. It's not the same thing, my guy. It's not the same circumstances at all whatsoever. Anyway, guys, I'm getting ready to pick up my kids, and I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Y'all stay up, man. Y'all stay frosty. It's a cold world out there. Much love, like, share, subscribe, and we're gonna keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.